The sting on my cheek silenced the entire boutique. My sister Nicole's diamond ring caught the light as her hand completed its sharp arc through the air. Just a heartbeat earlier, I had been holding out a delicate lace veil. Now my face burned where she had struck me hard enough to leave her wedding party frozen in disbelief. "Get out," she hissed, her voice low but clear enough for everyone to hear. "You're embarrassing me in front of everyone." The boutique's lights suddenly felt too bright. Every eye was on me as I stood among racks of $1,000 gowns, my palm pressed against my reddening cheek. Women I barely knew, Nicole's friends. Our cousins pretended to study beadwork, and hemlines avoiding my gaze. Only our mother looked directly at me. Her expression wasn't concern but warning. "Don't make a scene." Yet beneath the humiliation burning through my chest, something colder and sharper began to form. Because what Nicole didn't know, what none of them knew, was that the platinum credit card inside her designer purse was mine. The $24,000 deposit on her fairy tale venue, the photographer's retainer, the catering advance, the custom invitations, all paid from my savings account. I straightened my shoulders, blinked away the tears threatening at the corner of my eyes, and walked toward the door without a word. As the boutique door closed behind me, I already had my phone in hand, banking app open, my finger hovering over cancel card. "My name is Lily. I'm 28 and a hospital administrator. This is the story of how I stopped funding someone else's fairy tale and started living my own." The street outside the boutique buzzed with Saturday shoppers, none aware of the storm that had just erupted inside. I found a quiet spot beside a storefront and finished what I'd started. 3 taps and my sister's entire wedding budget vanished. Card canceled successfully, my screen confirmed. Through the boutique's front windows, I had a perfect view. Nicole still stood on the pedestal, admiring the crystal-encrusted gown that cost more than my car. Our mother hovered beside her, both of them blissfully unaware of what I had just done. The saleswoman approached with a tablet, smiling politely as she prepared to finalize the purchase. My pulse quickened. Nicole handed over my card with the careless confidence of someone who had never worried about money, specifically someone who had never worried about my money. I watched the saleswoman swipe once, then again, her professional smile fading. She murmured something to Nicole, whose expression shifted from confusion to disbelief. "What do you mean, declined?" Nicole's voice carried even through the glass. "That's impossible. Try it again." The saleswoman shook her head, pointing at her tablet. Nicole turned toward our mother, panic creeping beneath her flawless makeup. The boutique manager appeared, his demeanor changing from deferential to annoyed as he extended his hand for the gown Nicole still clutched. I should have felt guilty, but instead, watching my sister's perfect world collapse felt like breathing oxygen after years underwater. I took a screenshot of the cancellation confirmation and walked away. My phone buzzed before I'd gone 2 blocks, mother, then Nicole, then mother again. I declined every call, silencing the vibration as I made my way to the bus stop. 20 minutes later, I was home, locking the door behind me with a deep sense of finality. For once, I wouldn't be the family fixer, the dependable one, the human ATM they'd all taken for granted. Growing up, Nicole had always been our parents' favorite, the prettier one, the more outgoing one, the one with potential. While she partied through college on our parents' dime, I worked night shifts to cover my tuition. When she chased a fashion career, they bankrolled 3 failed boutiques. When I earned my master's degree in healthcare administration, they didn't even come to the graduation. Yet somehow, when Nicole got engaged to Trevor, a finance guy with family money but temporary cash flow issues, I was the one expected to help out. What began as a small loan for the engagement party turned into a bottomless pit of wedding expenses, all charged to my credit. It's just until Trevor's bonus comes through, Nicole had promised 4 months ago. Besides, you're not using that money for anything important. That unimportant thing was the down payment for my own apartment, a dream quietly postponed while I kept bankrolling hers. The next morning, my phone showed 27 missed calls and 16 unread messages. I scrolled through them over coffee, each one more frantic than the last 10:15 a.m. Mom, the boutique called. What did you do to the card? 10:22 a.m. Nicole, fix this now. 10:47 a.m. Mom, Nicole is devastated. How could you embarrass us like this? 11:30 a.m. Nicole, the venue is threatening to cancel. This isn't funny anymore. 12:10 p.m. Mom, your father is furious. Call us immediately. 10:05 p.m. Nicole, Trevor's parents are asking questions. You're ruining my life. The final text had come in at 3:42 a.m. If you don't fix this by tomorrow, don't bother coming to the wedding. I actually laughed out loud at that one. Without my money, there wouldn't be a wedding. As if on cue, my phone lit up with an incoming call, an unknown number. I hesitated, then answered. Is this Lily Winters? The voice was male, polite but strained. Yes? Who's calling? This is Marcus from Grand Heritage Venue. We've been trying to reach Nicole Winters regarding her outstanding balance of $32,450 due today. Her number goes straight to voicemail and she listed you as an alternate contact. I closed my eyes, picturing the grand ballroom Nicole had chosen, crystal chandeliers, marble floors, and seating for the 300 guests she'd deemed absolutely essential. I'm sorry, Marcus, I said evenly. I'm no longer involved with my sister's wedding finances. I see. His tone softened, a trace of sympathy creeping in. Well, if you do speak with her, please let her know that without today's payment, we'll have to release the date to another client. We already have 3 couples on our waiting list. I'll pass that along. After ending the call, I blocked my parents' and Nicole's numbers, then powered off my phone entirely. For the first time in years, the constant weight of family obligation lifted from my shoulders. I spent the rest of the day walking through the park, sunlight on my face, the air sharp and clean. Later, I treated myself to lunch at a cafe I'd always wanted to try, but had long considered too expensive. The irony wasn't lost on me. When I finally turned my phone back on that evening in my apartment, there was a single voicemail from a number I recognized, Trevor, Nicole's fiancé. Lily, it's Trevor. Look, things are crazy over here. Nicole says you canceled some card and now everything's falling apart. I don't understand what's going on. My parents are asking questions I can't answer. Can you call me, please? His confusion sounded genuine. Instead of calling, I typed out a text. Trevor, Nicole told everyone your family was covering the wedding costs. In reality, I've been paying for everything on my credit cards. She slapped me in public yesterday, so I canceled the cards. I'm done being her secret bank account. His reply came almost instantly. Wait, what? She told us your parents were paying. The dominoes were falling faster than I'd expected. By the next morning, the situation had spiraled beyond Nicole's control. Trevor's parents, old money, well-connected, and fiercely protective of their reputation, had uncovered the truth. After reading my message to Trevor and calling the venue themselves, they pieced together the entire financial illusion. A few hours later, my phone buzzed with a text from a cousin in Nicole's bridal party. OMG, what happened? Trevor's mom is telling everyone Nicole lied about who was paying for the wedding. His grandmother is furious. I didn't need to respond. The truth was doing all the work for me. 3 days after the boutique incident, Trevor's mother called me directly. Her tone was perfectly measured, graceful, composed, and unmistakably authoritative. Lily, this is Margaret Hamilton. I'd like to understand exactly what's been happening with my son's wedding finances. I told her everything. The months of payments, the excuses, the slap in the boutique that had finally broken whatever loyalty I still had left. She listened quietly, never interrupting once. I see, she said when I finished. Thank you for your candor. The Hamiltons value honesty above all else. It seems my future daughter-in-law does not share that value. The following day, Trevor called. His voice was hollow. The wedding's off, he said quietly. My parents spoke with Nicole this morning. He hesitated, searching for the right words. They said they couldn't welcome someone into the family who would build our marriage on a foundation of lies. I said nothing. There was nothing to say. Was she always like this? He asked at last. Did I miss something I should have seen? She's always been the family princess, I told him. And someone has always paid the price for her crown. We're officially broken up, Trevor said after a pause. I returned her ring yesterday. The bonus I was waiting on finally came through last week, but it wasn't anywhere near enough to cover what she'd already spent. I had no idea what she'd committed us to. The day that was supposed to be Nicole's wedding dawned bright and clear. Instead of a ceremony, the Hamilton family announced a substantial donation to a local education charity, what society columns delicately described as a change of plans for the previously announced union. Nicole moved back in with our parents refusing to leave her room. My mother's messages, now coming from new numbers I hadn't yet blocked, swung wildly between anger and desperation. She's devastated. Her life is ruined. How could you do this to your own sister? Then hours later, please, Lily, we need your help. Your father's retirement isn't enough. We can't support her alone. I didn't respond to either. 6 weeks after what our family now called the boutique incident, I signed the lease on my new apartment, the one I'd postponed for Nicole's wedding. As I unpacked boxes in a space that was finally mine, my phone buzzed with a text from an unsaved number. It's Trevor. I just wanted to thank you not for what happened with Nicole that's still complicated, but for showing me the truth before I made a permanent mistake. I hope you're doing well. I smiled as I set my phone down without replying. On the coffee table sat a neat stack of brochures, graduate programs, and hospital administration, the dreams I'd once shelved while financing someone else's. That evening, I stood on my small balcony overlooking the city park, watching families drift along the paths below. My sister had lost a fiancé, a wedding, and the polished image she'd spent years constructing. My parents had lost their favorite daughter's fairy tale ending. Nicole was now responsible for the remaining vendor balances she'd signed off on, though I suspected our parents would eventually rescue her, as they always had. And me, I had gained something I hadn't even realized. I'd been missing my own life, reclaimed one canceled credit card at a time. Sometimes standing up for yourself doesn't mean fireworks or revenge. Sometimes it's quieter. It's choosing to stop the payments, the sacrifices, the cycle that keeps you small so others can stay comfortable. The consequences, those belong to them.